I'm at war with it, but it's hard to let it go.
Now, on the debate on what the most powerful class and or subclass in Destiny 1 was, you would definitely get a lot of different opinions and points. Some of them good, some of them bad. But before we kick this video off, you'll hear me talking about the Hunter a lot. But when I played the Destiny 2 beta, I didn't use any other characters aside from the Warlock. So hopefully that won't be a problem. I just figured that somebody would make a big deal about me talking about the Hunter while commentating over Warlock gameplay. In year one, I can honestly say the Hunter was not only the most overplayed class in the game, but it was also the most frequently occurring character in the Crucible, most specifically the Blade Dancer subclass. The Blade Dancer was holding it down in the Crucible in a similar but not identical way that the Night Stalker did after its introduction in the Taken King expansion. I think that for PvP, the Hunter was undoubtedly the most powerful character and had abilities that gave it a lot of prowess in PvP. Unfortunately, the Hunter got slapped around by multiple nerfs, and by the time Destiny 1 ended, the class wasn't even a shadow of its former self. A lot of people would say the Hunter was the weakest class in the game, but those words only came from the mouths of Hunter mains who felt that the other two classes had a lot more advantages than the Hunter. I disagree with that claim. It can be proven that the Hunter got nerfed the hardest out of all three classes, but I highly doubt that stopped people from using the character as a whole. What you have to understand is that the Hunter's entire stylization of character revolves around combat advantage. The character is finesse based, which is why it's the only character in the game that can actually jump, whereas the other two characters float. The Hunter also had the most amount of exclusive abilities that range from Shade Step to the ability to turn invisible while crouching. When the Night Stalker was introduced in the Taken King alongside the Stormcaller and the Sunbreaker, all three classes wreaked havoc in the Crucible, almost solely due to the fact that they were new, and by that time Destiny had been out for an entire year, and the Taken King was the most massive expansion that we ever got. I didn't end up getting the Taken King until about 3 months after it released because I was still on a 6-month hiatus from the game. But from time to time I would watch YouTube videos of the newly introduced subclasses and notice that the Night Stalker's neutral game was so great that it actually had more relevancy than the super itself. I mean, why would you need a super when you got smoke bombs which you do damage over time and grenades that kill in a millisecond? Especially when you combine them. I mean, you have a better chance surviving a tornado than a wombo combo. Let's keep it real. Because of this, I think the Night Stalker was the single best subclass in Destiny 1. The subclass talent tree gives you a lot of creative freedom without hindering your combat effectiveness in the slightest. In most scenarios, you gotta pick one thing and get rid of another, but the Night Stalker was so powerful that almost any combination of perks in the talent tree worked. I mean, Grenadier Jake, for example, got popular from the 1v3 Trials gig for a reason. At the moment in time that I'm recording this Destiny commentary, Bungie hasn't confirmed that the Taken King subclasses will be making a return to Destiny 2. And even if they did, I can almost guarantee you that they won't be nearly as powerful as they were in Destiny 1, especially the Night Stalker. All Hunter subclasses have the ability to dodge, so that ability wouldn't be exclusive to the Night Stalker anymore. And due to the fact that you won't be able to abuse or rely on abilities in Destiny 2, the Night Stalker would have to rely on raw gunplay like the other subclasses will, or other classes will as well. You would still be able to use the wombo combo, but it would probably be less than 4 or 5 times in a match. I mean, that may be an exaggeration, but the way the ability cooldowns work in Destiny 2, I wouldn't be surprised. But only time can tell, and as of presently, we're a little under a month away into the full game of Destiny 2 releases. So we'll see if the Hunter is dominant in Destiny 2's PvP like it was in the previous game. But that does it for this video, people, so catch me in the next episode.